Evening. Today I've decided to read something from one of my old notebooks, and I've just grabbed one of the ones I have on my shelf, and so I have a lot of them. Today's is this one, and I don't know what's going to be in here, so I'm going to open it to a page and hopefully find something to read out. How about... not that one. Kind of wouldn't make sense. Not sure that makes any sense either. These old notebooks don't make sense all of the time. Actually, half the time they probably don't. Oh, lots of blank pages. I used to... oh well, I still do keep my notebooks. I love my notebooks. That's an odd one. I hate it when you're not on, or when I'm away from your side. If I had my way, we'd always be talking, always be together forever. But that cannot be. I'll never say this, but it's how I feel. I'll never let you know, but it's true. Hide the depth of my love, you wouldn't understand it. Don't expect it if I show it. Can't remember who I was writing that one about. Have an inkling, but I think at that time he'd left my life. At that time, seemingly permanently. So, probably not him. Although the page before suggests it might have been. Who knows? How about this one? You broke into my daydreams and drew my eyes to you. I tried to see the dreams again, but saw only you the same. I used to see my world complete. Now it suffered a final complete. I never paid attention to you, the friend who didn't need fixing. You needed healing from hidden things, the person I'd turn to when failing. Then daydreams broke for you, made way as I saw you, let you know my heart. Now every daydream is you, each thought connected to. No longer in my daydreams, unsure if it's reality. It feels like a fairy tale, just for us two. No one breaks into my daydreams now. Probably in side effect of this guy. Though, if that's who I thought it was written for, I forced myself to put them in my daydreams. I remember training myself so they weren't in them too. I think I trained them both ways, because that happened around the time I was immersing myself in Harry Potter. Everything. So my daydreams, well, at the time I had quite a lot of characters in my daydreams. I had Yuki and Kaio from the manga Fruits Basket. I had some characters from Twilight, but I also had Harry, Draco, Ron, Hermione, host of those guys in my daydreams, so I'd just walk along and be imagining them. This guy I forced myself to imagine in amongst all that, and I remember forcing myself to. So not so much breaking into, but being invited into. What else can I read? When I was small, you cared and looked after me, but I couldn't speak to say happy birthday. Apparently I wrote one of my mum's happy birthday poems in here. I used to write, well, I still do occasionally, if it's an important card for a friend or a family member, I'll write a poem in it and make the card. Not sure where my spare cards are currently, probably buried in a box. Oh, here's a story. In a land of magic, where a spell could save a life near death or destroy a life near killing, there lived a boy and a girl. They were young when they first met. Well, saying that you're thinking 6 or 7 years old, but both the boy and girl were 15. This story happened soon after they met, but just long enough for them to be courting and expected to marry. I say courting, not dating, because it was courting. Both the boys and the girl's parents must allow it, as well as the girl allowing. The boy, well, he usually starts a courtship. though parents occasionally do, and then the boy has no say in it. The boy of this story chose the girl, for he was proud and judged on how a girl looked rather than how she acted. He was spoilt and often demanded his own way in everything. "It's his way or no way," his friends once told me, with a sad smile. Unfortunately, the girl had a gentle nature, trying to calm a person without pandering, and this annoyed her sweetheart immensely. But she was strong too, with an inner strength the boy never ever failed to dent. Once, after being denied a request by the girl, the boy got mad. Instead of beating her, the boy decided to try and steal the girl's innocence. Tried with persuasion and with force, but the girl kept repeating the word he hated: "No." In one final attempt, using brute strength, the boy nearly succeeded. Okay, that's quite ominous. I wish I'd written more to that, just so I know what happened. I wrote some disturbing things. When was this written? 2011, so 4 years ago. I would love to know what was going in my mind then that I wrote a short bit of a story about someone being raped. Or almost being raped, apparently. Okay, weird notebook. This is an interesting one. One thing I will say is interesting about this book is it was started because I was feeling fairly down. Shortly before I'd got this book, I'd essentially pushed all my friends away. I would have been 16 or something, 16, 17 I to guess, and I'd pushed all my friends away because I think the boyfriend I'd had just before that, when I was together that time, the time when we didn't even get around to kissing, if I recall, he'd stick to my side. And it was a side effect of one of our other friends. He had rules for people in relationships. But if I moved to try and get some space from him, he'd be there crowding my personal space again 2 minutes later. I threw everyone away because he crowded me. I told them to leave me alone and bugger off, and I think only one of my friends at the time didn't get that message. It took a while, and the friends I made at that time were all new to the school. They'd just joined the school we were in. So I'd pushed them all away, and I was feeling quite melancholy when I started this notebook. And then had a rather interesting meeting with a drunk guy who decided I needed cheering up, which he managed to do by completely bemusing me and amusing me and saying some really insane things. I like my random strangers. But this was a bit of a goodbye to the girl who'd done all that. She's gone into the mist and left us all behind. I held her back, kept her here until she's far away. Now the girl of heartache, stress and fear has finally heard my goodbye. For what comes next, I'm sure you know, is nice to meet you, friend. Now it's over, all complete. My heart has taken back its seat. No more scenes I wish to happen, or thoughts that try to cause depression. I'm not that girl anymore. I've healed and I've changed. So say a last farewell to her she left so long ago. My friend began, and to the end helped the girl to heal. He never knew, but all the time, I slowly took her place. Still the same, but never her, the fool who hid and cowered. So stronger now, and a little calmer in all the things I feel. Emotions happen slower now, more powerful when they do. So now I've let her fall behind into the painful time of past, and returned to me at last. That seems like a good place to